pure and radiant. He wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men.
Elden Ring, the biggest and most beloved game of the already classic studio from Software. It was released in 2022 and was the best game of that year according to the Game Awards. And if you want to play it, it's available on Xbox One, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4 and 5, Windows. Until the end of 2025, it'll be released on Nintendo Switch 2. It's a massive open-world Souls-like action RPG, and is one of those games that won't tell you what to do. But the world of the game is so immersive and well-connected that even when you feel lost, it'll be rewarding to explore and find your way to your next objective, since there are numerous options along the journey. And you won't need to do them all to finish the story, but you want to do because the game is really amazing.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
The journey is hard, but extremely pleasant in case you like Souls-like games, and it'll take about 60 to 100 hours to finish, that in case you decide to explore the game. Beyond that, there's a huge expansion, probably the biggest expansion ever released in a video game, and will add about 30 hours of gameplay.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
I was never meant to be a warrior.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is obviously the sequel of the original game released in 2018, and it amazed all players who tried it. The second game was released in 2025, and it's simply one of the best games of the year, better than the first game in almost all aspects. The studio that developed it is Warhorse Studios, the studio of the old Mafia series writer, and the game is available on Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows.
An adventure found me. And I found this lot.
It's set in an immersive and impressive open world, where you can explore many different realistic areas by the way. As it's a medieval game, you can explore castles, buildings, churches, and much more. All that's set in the accurate state of the time the game is set. Everything with impressive details in every aspect.
And maybe that's how it was meant to be.
The gameplay is like a simulator. You can't do much more than you could do in real life. I mean, if you try to face 4 guys, you'll surely lose, as the combat is extremely realistic in a lot of details, since the weapons, movements, damage, and more. And the world itself is really relentless and unforgiving, with laws, NPCs that seems to be alive, and deep dialogues with many different characters, creating one of the best and most complex video games ever created.
Now we're really fucked. You have to fight till the bitter end.
The most adventure I was expecting was a fuck or two.
When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes.
Fallout New Vegas is a first-person shooter RPG game. It was developed by the studio Obsidian Entertainment and released in 2010 to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Windows. And unfortunately, so far there's no new version to the new consoles.
As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old-world values of democracy and the rule of law.
It's the most beloved game of the series to this day, set in an immersive world with interesting characters, amazing progression, and nice storylines, being the only first-person game of the series created by this studio that also developed South Park, The Stick of Truth, Pillars of Eternity, Outer Worlds, and more.
As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth, in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert.
Feel the heat in New Vegas. Not even nuclear fallout could slow the hustle of Sin City. Explore the vast expanses of the desert wastelands, from the small towns dotting the Mojave wasteland to the bright lights of the New Vegas Strip. See the great Southwest as could only be imagined in Fallout. A game with a really immersive universe. Everywhere you go and explore, you'll find something useful, a weapon, resources, and more. The combat is not like a Call of Duty game, since it's an RPG game, but more you play, more you'll learn, making it always get more and more satisfying to discover and
The
explore.
Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat.
Arthur! Any luck? I found a place where we can get some shelter. Let Davy rest while he... you know.
Red Dead Redemption 2, my favorite game of all time, a masterpiece developed by Rockstar Games and released in 2018. And so far it's only available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, but you can play it on the current generation, but it will be the past generation
What are
version.
we gonna do? We need supplies.
Well, first of all, you're gonna stay here, and you are gonna get yourself warm. Now, I sent John and Micah scouting out ahead. Arthur and I, we're gonna ride out, see if we can find one of them.
It's an immense open-world game set in the American Western universe, and is simply one of the best general entertainment pieces ever made, with impressive details, realist graphics, an immersive and insane story and storytelling, and great characters that you'll feel like you know them in real
Sean,
life.
Mac, they may be okay. We don't know. But we lost some folks. Now, if I could throw myself in the ground in their stead, I'd do it. Gladly.
In the game, you'll explore a huge open world, meeting many different people, and having interaction possibility with everyone in the game. Of course, you'll be able to develop more of the relation with some, but you can talk to everyone in the game, what feels absurdly immersive. Beyond the amazing story, the game is filled with side quests, mini games, challenges, and much more, and you'll easily play more than 100 hours, and through all this moment, you'll feel even more connected to this universe, since it's one of those games that just walking the map got a good feeling, especially in the rain.
Bastard!
Damn bastard. Get the hell away from me.
Gonna be thick. All set. Phone it in.
I'm calling it.
Grand Theft Auto V is so far the last game of the biggest open-world game series ever. It was developed by Rockstar Games and released in 2013 to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but along the years it was also released on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series, and Windows. Some version brought really interesting features for the game, as the first-person mode, and some new side quests and mini-games in the story mode.
Rose, I wouldn't stay in there too long, okay? This alarm is gonna go. At some point.
You gotta be kidding me. Why did I employ a hacker who can't run antivirus software?
Shit, okay, the alarm hasn't gone off yet.
When a young street hustler, a retired bank robber, and a terrifying psychopath find themselves entangled with some of the most frightening and deranged elements of the criminal underworld, the U.S. government, and the entertainment industry, they must pull off a series of dangerous heists to survive in a ruthless city in which they can trust nobody, least of all each other.
Friend, Mr. K.
My pleasure. I love helping our government wage war, especially with itself.
But you made a mistake.
Did I, Cupcake?
Why don't you keep your fucking voice down before I close your fucking windpipe? The joke stopped now, pal. You will show me and my team some respect.
Maybe you could define team for me.
The game is an evolution of the fourth game. It's less realistic and more charismatic, approaching more the arcade style than simulation. In all aspects, story, gameplay, physics, and all the rest. The world is now hyped about the next game of the series. That for now is confirmed to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, coming out on May 26, 2026, and promises to be the greatest game of all time.
What's going on?
Let's go.
Go, 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 go!
You a witcher? That monster slayer they's talking about in the village? A about to ask me for help, aren't you?
The Witcher 3 is one of the most beloved action RPG games ever released. It was released in 2015 by the studio CD Projekt Red and won the Game of the Year in that
This
year.
land never flowed with milk and honey. Now it flows with blood. They hired me to kill the beast. Thing is, the real beast is something else, though.
The open world of this game is impressive. It's huge, with many different quests and side quests, all of them with a lot of personality. It's impressive. Around the world, you'll find many different people with different dialogues, mini quests, and interactions. What will add a lot to the gameplay immersion. The main story takes about 60 hours, but it's so good that you'll want to do the extra missions to get better items or even explore more of the universe. And there are 2 great expansions with much more characters, stories, and I even think they're better than the original game. And the good part is that they're all connected. So everything you find in the DLCs, you'll be able to use in all parts of the game since you have these items already. So it's simply one of the best games ever made that every player need to play at least once.
Elder blood flows in Ciri's veins, which is why the Wild Hunt wants to capture her.
This is the end, Geralt.
It's just the beginning.
Is a fearsome dog that feeds off trouble and turmoil. I seen him clear the deck of a Spanish galleon like it were nothing.
Assassin's Creed 4 is a unique game of this amazing series. It was released 1 year after Assassin's Creed 3 and was inspired in side quests that was available in that game, but they simply created the best game about pirates released to this day. It was developed by Ubisoft and released in 2013 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii U, and Windows, but along the years it was also released on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. And if you play for the first time today, you simply won't believe this game is over 10 years old. The year is 1715. Pirates rule the Caribbean and have established their own lawless republic where corruption, greediness, and cruelty are commonplace. Among these outlaws is a brash young captain named Edward Kenway, the protagonist of the game, the grandpa of the Connor of Assassin's Creed 3. The game is really different of the Ezio trilogy. It's more focused in the exploration of the piracy era, and it will allow you to explore and live like a pirate with an insane ship battle system with many upgrades for both the character and ship, what makes the experience and progression really satisfying.
Bloody fucking pirates!
I'm on to you, Snakesby!
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's in the same style. A huge open world with a lot of possibilities. And I must say that Elden Ring wouldn't exist without Breath of the Wild. That was surely a huge inspiration for Elden Ring. Tears of the Kingdom was developed by Nintendo and released in 2023. Only on Nintendo Switch, and it was announced already that Breath of Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will get a new version to Nintendo Switch 2, with better graphics and performance. The game follows the story of Link, a knight that fights to save the Princess Zelda, what's usual in almost all games of the series. But here the universe is huge, and as Elden Ring, the game won't tell you what to do, but give you a lot of tools and mechanics, so you can discover the best ways to surpass the challenges. To finish the game, you'll take about 50 to 60 hours, but the game is so huge, with so much good content, that you can spend more than 200 hours playing to get everything, and all that time will be really fun, as the game continue to surprise you in every aspect of gameplay.
Link.
They got a lock on us. Engine's been hit.
Get us out of here.
I'm losing control.
Cyberpunk 2077 is the game developed right after The Witcher 3 by the studio CD Projekt Red, and it was released in 2020 to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows. And in that moment, everyone got disappointed with it. It wasn't what everyone expected, but in the next years, it was released on Xbox Series and PlayStation 5. And along the years, they fixed many problems of the game and also added many features, what made the game way better than in the launch. And in 2025, it was also released on Nintendo Switch 2. The game also received a huge DLC with a new map, new characters, new weapons, vehicles, and more. Adding all that to the game makes the experience playing really good. The core of the game is similar to The Witcher, but the gameplay and universe are totally different. This is a FPS RPG, obviously set in a futuristic cyberpunk world, where the technology is in another level and nothing is really natural anymore, not even the people. The possibilities in the game are many, since missions, side missions, dialogues, and much more. What makes the replay factor interesting? In the end, this is a unique game that suffered in the launch, but along the years became one of the biggest games of history.
In this world, consumed by never-ending conflict, sometimes only an outsider will get the job done.
Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us. I'm all ears.
And that's you.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is one of the biggest open-world RPG games ever released. It was developed by Bethesda and released in 2011, winning as the best game of the year, and was launched on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows. But in the next years, it was released in basically all platforms possible. Play any type of character you can imagine, and do whatever you want. The legendary freedom of choice, storytelling, and adventure of the Elder Scrolls is realized like never before. Set in an immersive open world, where everywhere you go you will find something interesting. It's a simple dungeon to a whole amazing quest line. Skyrim is a type of game that will give you many main quests, and if you just follow them, it won't be as amazing as it could be. The game is almost infinite content, but to see all that you'll need to explore and discover, since the game won't tell you and show all you can do, but interacting to the NPCs, you'll be always discovering more and more about the universe and possibilities. And all that makes the experience even more immersive, as if you were really living in a fantasy medieval world.